Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 1, Episode 36 of NXT The Game. We have just ended NXT Redemption. Let's get straight into the show. Alright guys, here we go. Our video recap of NXT Takeover Redemption is shown. The camera now shows Triple H walking backstage, and he looks pretty pissed off. He's on the search for William Regal to ask him, reluctant or not, doing the right thing or not, why on earth he counted for that piece of crap James Storm. As all of you remember, just last event, the referee was knocked out and William Regal counted the 3 count after being ringside for the match for James Storm. Doing the right thing. Welcome to NXT, says Renee Young. We are just days removed from NXT Takeover Redemption where James Storm retained his... Excuse me! Oh, bless me. Alright, welcome to NXT. We are just days removed from the NXT Takeover Redemption where James Storm retained his NXT Championship. And no, not through nefarious ways. In fact, his referee Revolution member referee Drake Younger was knocked out, and NXT Commissioner William Regal reluctantly did the right thing and made the 3 count for James Storm after Baron Corbin and Sean X-Pac Woman accidentally sent referee Younger flying. Accidentally, huh? It's great to have someone who upholds the rules in charge no matter what. For once, I agree with you, Tom. William did the right thing, even though it was a hard choice. And that's not all. Tonight, we have the debut on NXT for the returning Sasha Banks. Much more also. But first, NXT Championship match, Ryder versus Murphy. I guess I'm changing gimmicks. Here we go. And about that, it's all in aggression. Would defeat Zach Ryder defeated Murphy in 8 minutes with his Rough Rider. During the match, we had Alexa Bliss distract Ryder. Zach Ryder makes defense number 5. Remember, folks, it's been a while, but Murphy injured, quote-unquote, Zach Ryder, both of which were given 6 weeks off, basically because I had so much going on during the build for Redemption, because it was all my, ending feuds after a couple months. They got a couple weeks off, so that angle happened. Murphy taking out Ryder. Blake is hurt, so there's been no team matches. I'm probably going to give Blake and Bliss about 3 or 4 months off, because that's when Blake is scheduled to come back. Anyways, this was just, Zach Ryder and defending his title again, so he makes his 5th defense of the NXT Television title. Alright, clips are now shown from NXT TakeOver Redemption of Bayley taking on Gail Kim for the Women's Championship. The match is going to go back and forth. It then shows the boss, Sasha Banks, re-debuting in an NXT ring, 7 months after I started this save, and costing Bayley the NXT Women's Championship by showing up with her theme music blaring and standing on top. Just a distraction. Like I said, Sasha Banks has not been featured in this save whatsoever, so it was a pretty big deal to bring Sasha in. Alright, next. In an extremely short match, Sasha Banks defeated Athena by the Banks statement. Athena and Banks have good chemistry. That's fantastic. Great news. Good match, Sasha. Your first match. It really lifted the crowd. Actually, that's a really good match. Really good rating for her first match. The camera now finds Triple H and William Regal backstage talking. Look, says Triple H, I know I appeared upset at the end of TakeOver Redemption, and quite frankly I was, but damn it, William, you did the right thing. William Regal, well, I'm glad you think so. James had nothing wrong in that match, Triple H, despite his actions leading up to TakeOver. Agreed. Let's just try to put this in the past. The fans boo. Sami Zayn beat Tyler Breeze and is now the #1 contender for the NXT Championship. The fans now cheer at the sound of Zayn's name. Triple H, let's just focus on the future, not dwell on the past. I'm glad you were at ringside to watch that match and did what was needed to do to uphold the law. I do not think I would have been able to do so, says Triple H. The scene ends with them shaking hands. No beef again? No beef. I want to portray William Regal and Triple H. I mean, eventually they're going to have, crossroads, but I really like the good guys and the Authority being on top, because bad Authority members just rarely make any sense, because the battle to climb is so stupidly high. Alright, James Storm's music now hits as he shows up on the entrance ramp and slowly makes his way down to the ring, taunting the fans. And still your NXT champion, James Storm. The fans boo and Storm continues down the ramp. I'm sorry about your damn luck, everyone, but when going got tough, I did what I said I was going to do. Retain my championship. Even more boos. James Storm now slips into the ring. James Storm, whoever I'm facing, get out here. Your champion is ready to fight. The fans boo. This was more of a show focused on just kind of tiptoeing around what happened at the pay-per-view, and kind of really setting up, just matches this week. Alright, next. And about that, it's all in reaction. James Storm defeated Tommaso Ciampa in 7 minutes with a super kick. Gargano was good. Storm and Ciampa had good chemistry. That's great, Ciampa, because you haven't had a lot of good matches so far, but you and Storm put on a pretty decent match. Next, James Storm is, after winning in convincing fashion, James Storm sits on his knees and wipes his hands together, saying, that was easy. The NXT champion James Storm raises his hands and his NXT championship into the air as the scene ends. Alright, next. The camera finds the back to find Candice LeRae being interviewed by Byron Saxton. Byron, hey Bailey, last week at NXT Takeover Redemption, you looked like you were going to win the NXT Championship, but Sasha Banks showed up. She did. Why did you? The crowd boos as Sasha Banks interrupts him. Why don't you just ask me, Byron? The crowd boos. Okay, Sasha, why did you... Let me stop you right there, Byron. The answer is now and was always going to be because I'm the boss. Legit. The scene ends with Sasha laughing in Bailey and Candice's faces and leaving the duo with Byron alone. What a bitch Sasha Banks is, huh? The camera now focuses back on the announce table. Folks, after a brutal match with Sami Zayn at TakeOver Redemption, Tyler Breeze will be taking a bit of time off, with the blessing of NXT management, of course, to finish up a tour in Milan. Corey Graves, that's right, Renee. How else would a man like Tyler Breeze regroup? He's going back to the basic. He's going back to Milan to help with Fashion Week. And Evo is joining him. If you ask me, Tyler is running away, as to not have egg in his face. Well, no one asked you, Tom, says Corey Graves. Renee Young, we also just got word that even after the match at NXT TakeOver Redemption, Apollo Crews and Samoa Joe have asked William Regal to be teamed up here tonight. Working on their friendship, and boy has commish Regal delivered. Coming up next in the main event, we're going to see Apollo Crews and Samoa Joe take on the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners Finn Balor and Hideo Itami. Alright, I guess I'm changing characters. Man, I don't know why those are bad characters. They're just staff members. The fans now cheer as Sami Zayn can be seen with a huge smile on his face and the NXT #1 contender's contract in his hand. Zayn. What I hold in my hand right now is the NXT #1 contendership paperwork. He pulls back 2 pieces of paper showing signatures, which you can see I signed, and which you can see William Regal and Triple H signed. The fans cheer. I plan on presenting this to James Storm in 2 weeks live in front of each and every one of you on NXT. The fans cheer. Things are changing, everyone, and they're changing for the better. I'm not going to be like James Storm. I'm a fighting champion, a champion you can all cheer for. So let's get ready. Let's get insane! Because I can't wait, says Sami Zayn. The scene leaves with Sami Zayn with a huge smile. The Sami Zayn on top storyline has began. Alright, next. In a card that had great action average heat, Finn Balor and Hideo Itami defeated Apollo Crews and Samoa Joe when Finn Balor defeated Apollo Crews with the coup de grace. So this was my main event this week. Got a really good rating for face versus face matchup, especially a good rating. After the match, Apollo Crews, along with Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, and Hideo Itami are all in the ring and shake hands. The fans cheer at the sportsmanship, and the NXT fans are standing and cheering after a great hard-fought match. The lights now dim and a time train comes up. All we see is a wrestler in a black mask with NXT across its eyelids. Mr. NXT. Before we look at one another a bit confused, the announcers played up a bit, and the show comes to an end this week. Ooh, Mr. NXT's got a 90 for an initial gimmick. Now, yes, I know I didn't have enough storylines going on. That's alright. I knew that was going to happen because I just ended every single storyline I had out of the Redemption, which was a 6-month block of shows that I had. Mr. NXT hopefully will be fun, and hopefully I don't fuck it up. I have a nice little idea in my mind. I don't think it's going to be a main event gimmick, but I think it's going to be a really fun gimmick, and the wrestler is a signed contracted worker who, you know, is part of the NXT universe or has been a part of the NXT universe before. Not to give any hints, because I don't want people to be disappointed or, oh, that sucked or whatever, but it should be pretty fun. I'm thinking about doing some cool things with Mr. NXT. So, I don't know how long it's going to last before he's unmasked. I'll probably lose in an unmasking match or have his mask pulled off or something like that to get some heat. But, Mr. NXT debuts. We have James Storm still the champion. Had some great matches. Zach Ryder winning again. Sasha Banks debuting. Setting up probably a feud with Bailey. And just another really good show here from NXT. I'm very excited to present it to you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow.